All right, let's get to our next topic. We're going to talk a little Guardians here. We got two different Guardians topics today. We're going to split them in half because we got Zach Jackson joining us in studio here in 15 minutes. But our first Guardians topic of the day is brought to us by Living for We. Gun violence is an epidemic. It's the leading cause of death for teenagers. And on this season of Living for We, we're asking what can be done to end cycles of violence in cities like Cleveland, where the shooters value their reputation over their own lives and see innocent bystanders as collateral damage. Living for We is more than just a podcast. It's a resource for communities tired of chaos and ready to build peace. Living for We tells the real stories from those most affected and solutions from change makers in the community, the families, the parents, the victims, and everything in between. The mission is simple: empower communities to create safer neighborhoods free from gun violence by highlighting local heroes, connecting resources and solutions, and building bridges through honest, community-driven dialogue. Join hosts Marlene Harris-Taylor and Maisha Watkins every other Tuesday for a brand new episode of Living for We. You can find this award-winning show wherever you get your podcasts, and you can watch full episodes by searching Living for We on YouTube. Emmanuel Clase, another blown save yesterday. However, as Zach Meisel put on Twitter very eloquently, he does lead the league in wins now at 3-0, so he takes
That's
it with a
an
grain of
awful
salt.
thing if you're a closer.
But
if
no,
you're
in
a
all
closer, that means
seriousness,
you're blowing a lot of opportunities.
in all honesty, Emmanuel Clase has not been nearly the same pitcher he was yesterday.
And he was saying that tongue-in-cheek.
Obviously.
Exactly.
He was not the same pitcher he was last season. Jay, you mentioned on Monday's show last week you would consider sending him to the minors.
I would. I still would.
After another bad outing, guys, when do we seriously have the conversation? Should Clase remain in the closer role from Cleveland? And in the closer role, do you have the ability to work through some of these issues that he's currently going through?
For me, he gets the month of April. If he still looks like this guy on May 1st, either I don't know which way you want to go. Do you go with Gaddis? Do you go with Cade Smith? Either are better options at this point. Even on his appearance Saturday night, he got lucky because he gives up a leadoff triple, which certainly would have scored. And the injury comes off the base, he's called out. So I'm waiting for that, and I think he pitched Friday too. Did he not?
He did, 3 in a row.
Yeah, and Friday he looked a little shaky too. I think he gave up a base runner in that one. Where's the 1-2-3 Clase that was so common last year? This guy's not the same.
It's gone, man. That ain't it.
How long do you guys give him?
2 months.
Here's the thing. I have no faith in him right now, but I would not take him out of the role.
Man.
And I have no faith in him. But
Tito.
But I was looking at his StatCast page, and I called Zach on the way in, and Zach Meisel, and I was like, it doesn't – I'm sticking with my thing. He's throwing it over the plate. He's missing his spots. The stuff is still there.
Did you do the deep dive on the movement on his cutter?
It's what it was at 22 levels. It's not moving quite as much as it was last year, but it's basically in line with what it was in 22 when he had a sub-2 ERA and he was an all-star.
Yeah.
It doesn't, there's no logical explanation.
Guys caught up with him.
For what we see.
They know what they're looking for, man.
Yeah, I think that's possible, too.
They just look, sometimes you go up there and when somebody hits you, they find out a little move, and they're like, oh, watch for this. Watch for this. Oh, you listen, when he do that, he about to do this. Right, and then your confidence is gone. Like now, it looked like before in the last couple of years, he used to be able to, with his just mind, blow it past people.
Yeah,
you was just like, oh, no,
that guy's gone.
That ain't it.
No.
They are super comfortable at the plate with you coming into the game.
No one's afraid of him. Look at his whip is that's unbelievable.
I mean, he's getting barreled like never
like
before.
We've never seen.
That was crazy.
They're getting elevation on it. They're lifting it like they haven't before.
Yes.
There is a lot of troubling markers, but nobody's running away with the division. They're still right. It's not like he's costing them games to where they're not in contention. It's still early.
No, but Jay,
with the track record he's got, I get why they're sticking with him. I didn't love throwing him 3 days in a row.
I didn't either.
But he threw 6 pitches Friday and 9 pitches Saturday.
And he had to. I mean, you were in a situation where you I know at 4-1 you don't think you have to, but I thought, well, this is the perfect situation for him because he's not going to give up 3 runs. He might give up 2.
Yeah.
But he's got to get his confidence back.
Yeah.
The reason I had mentioned the minor leagues was because right now, to me, I don't know if it's 50-50 stuff, confidence, but I'm giving confidence at least 50% of the issue.
I think it's
like a
more.
kicker.
I think
it's like
more.
a golfer when he gets the yips on the greens.
Yeah.
So if it's 50%, To me, as a manager, I'm trying to find out, okay, I got to do two things here. I've got to minimize the risk to the team, but I also have to restore his confidence. It has to be done. And so that situation was, because I thought this is going to be a really interesting call by vote, because it's a 3-run lead. You don't have to pitch him. He's pitched 2 in a row, even though his pitch count was very low. Do you now bring him in? One of the appearances was just to get the final out.
Yeah.
Do you now bring him in this perfect situation to help rebuild his confidence? And even if he gives up 2, at least you hold on. He's not going to blow this thing. Next thing you know, it's 4-4.
Yep.
And so that's why I mentioned you put him in the minor leagues. I think you destroy his confidence no matter what you do. But at what risk? It's already destroyed. At this point, it's got to be about rebuilding his confidence. How do you rebuild confidence? You get guys out. Where is it easiest to get guys out? AAA.
Yeah.
And that's I know a lot of people looked at that. I heard from a lot of my buddies on Friday, and they're like, wow, bro, that escalated quickly. And in trying to explain it, this is more about rebuilding his confidence. Because even if his stuff starts to return, it's almost like a chicken or the egg. Does the stuff return and then he gets the confidence back?
Yeah.
Or does he get his confidence back and the stuff returns? I can tell you from golfers and kickers, a lot of times it's you get your confidence back.
Yeah.
And then the stuff comes back.
What happened in pitchers when they got hit hard a little bit too much? They just started pounding you inside. They were like, "No, we're gonna take back the whole inner half of the plate. We're gonna pound you inside, and we're gonna make you hit pitches that you don't want to." I don't. It's just, to me, it's tough because, like you said, his velocity is not down. He's not hurt.
How long are you giving him? I know you say you keep him in this role. How long?
I can't sit here and I think you'll know it when you see it. I don't know if there's a magic date on it that, well, it's May 1st and you still suck, so you're out.
Yeah.
I think you know it when you see it. Really, I just think he's just catching too much of the plate. He's just throwing everything over the plate.
But
he's
they've
missing
been
his
talking
spots.
about that probably since his second appearance this year.
Yeah.
Your stuff is just too sweet. You got to make it a little more sour, work the edges, don't throw it in a nitro zone. You know where the guy's nitro zones are, don't throw it there.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to do that.
He hasn't been able to do it.
And to me, I know one of the things that this is just personally, and I know it's a much, much lower level, but for me, one of the things that is a signal to me that something's wrong, even if it's my arm and I'm not feeling it, to me, my command starts to go. And then I overcorrect, and then I start throwing everything in the 5-hole.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
And that's the box you just don't want to live in. But when you're struggling with your command and you can't work the edges, you start going for the heart and thinking, well, I'm struggling with my command.
Right.
I'm not going to hit the heart. I'll go for the heart, and I'll live on the edges. But weirdly, you don't. You find the heart, and then the bat finds
I don't know.
the fat part of the ball.
I mean, when you lose command, is command something you could just I feel like no one owns command. Command.
Greg Maddux did.
Command jumps
he
from
did.
person to person, from time to time, from point A to point B in your career. I think you're always chasing command. I don't know if you could just say, all right, well, I'm going to throw it where I want it today. There's very few. Well, under pressure, consistently, Greg Maddux was the king of it, and they gave him a lot of on that.
They gave him a lot that weren't strikes.
Jason, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
On the Ultimate Guardian show this morning, Zach and Bull, if you missed it, go check it out. Bull mentioned it. You should be concerned, obviously, but he's like, the fact that Guardians haven't lost any of these games.
That was my point.
Makes him think of it in a different light.
No.
And I know, Jay, you disagree, so I want to ask Jason this
Nobody's
first.
running away with this division, but go ahead.
If they
And
had
that's
lost
fine.
two
That's
of the
fine.
3 games in those blown saves from Clase, I think he has 3 blown saves now. If they had lost 2 of those 3, would it feel different to you with the magnitude of the blown saves, or because they've ended up winning all of the games that he has blown the saves, and it just doesn't seem to, I guess, sting, for lack of a
You're
better
probably
word, nearly
right.
as
Had
much.
they lost those games, it probably would be a different feeling if they were under 500 and they put those standings back up. They're what, a half game behind
They're a half
Detroit?
game
half a game behind Detroit.
Yeah. So if they
And
were
shockingly, everybody else, I mean, it's very early.
Yeah.
I'm not making any judgments
Yeah.
from this. But Kansas City and Minnesota are playing way below what
I'm
we
not
thought they'd
surprised
be.
by Minnesota.
That's
I
crazy.
am surprised by Kansas City.
I'm stunned by Kansas City, and I am a little surprised by Minnesota. I didn't see that coming.
I'm not. I've never been.
I didn't see 15-7 coming either, but I would have guessed they'd be around 500.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already 8 games under 500.
And I'm surprised by Detroit. I thought Detroit would be more in that Kansas City
I think
range.
Detroit's going to win the division.
They might.
This division lets the Guardians do anything they want. They can have bad pitching. Clase can be off. They can get rid of the best power hitters and still be in second place. But see,
I know, but guys,
See?
winning the division gets you what? Like, this team needs to, and I'm not saying they're going to. And
I
I'm
think
not
winning
saying
the division is very important. It gets you.
It is important,
Gets you
but
out
here's
of that
the
wild
problem.
card crap.
We've done that. We've done that a lot.
Oh, they're locked
we have
into that.
deficiencies. If I'm the Cleveland Guardians, I'm not thinking like, let's just win the division. I'm also thinking we want to make a playoff run.
Of course.
You're not making a playoff run without Clase being last year's Clase. He is priority number one.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love to see the move to put Hosey back in the 3 spot.
Yep.
It took longer than I would have hoped, but I think he's more comfortable there. He, oddly enough, doesn't have a lot of ribs there, but his batting average has shot up 35 points or whatever.
I told Zach this morning I really like Nolan Jones in that 2 spot.
I do too. He's
And
got to
it's sort
start
of-
hitting, but
I think he will. Like if you look at his advanced metrics, Nolan Jones is hitting it really well.
Yes,
he
is.
has nothing to show for it right now.
I've noticed that.
But he's going to get a ton of fastballs in that spot with Quan in front of him and Hosey behind him. I really think this could be the start of a springboard for Nolan. It's sort of what I wanted with Rocchio, and I'm about done with Brian Rocchio.
I'm close. Listen, between
Got
the
you.
base running and the fielding,
Yeah, I know.
It's too much to take on.
I really thought this was going to be a breakout year for Rocchio. I was really high on him coming in. It's mid-April. He's got,
know.
but I do think Nolan is playing much better than what the numbers show, and I know the numbers look terrible. I really like him in that 2 spot.
I like not just Hosey is hitting better already in one series in the 3 spot. Manzardo took off.
Yeah.
We're doing a whole Manzardo segment.
I know
coming up,
we
so
are. I won't go
don't blow
too
your cover.
deeply into that. But to me, I thought it was. I hated that they put him in there. I kept thinking, let's get him out of the 2 and into the 3 as soon as possible. That's done. Now I think Operation Clase, restore Clase's confidence, is of utmost importance. If he can return to the guy, then you can start thinking not just about winning the division, Jay, because I know ultimately that's your primary goal. But Stephen Vogt made very clear last year at spring training, no, our season's a success if we win the World Series.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have work to do. And how long is this window going to be open with Clase as the best closer in the game? I mean, clearly isn't this year, but for them to accomplish what ultimately they want to accomplish, Clase has to be 24 Clase. And whatever it takes, if it takes a little trip to the minors, a lot of guys, it's re-sparked their careers by doing that.
Last thing I would say on this, I'd think 24 Clase is unrealistic. That was a historical year. 22 Clase. Sub 2 ERA and an all-star.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Can't be 25 Clase.
No. Yeah, what we've seen
can't be.
so far. And their whole bullpen works off of him. He's the anchor, and then everyone else slots in behind him.
You're right. Who would you go with if not Clase?
Cade.
I would too.
Cade Smith.
I would too.
But I'm not at that point, and like I said, it sounds weird to say, I have no faith in him, but I'm not taking him out of that role. Not right now.
All right.